Thank you. Before we begin, let me tell you the code of conduct. Be nice to other attendees. We're all part of the same community. So be friendly, welcoming, and generally a nice person. Be someone that other people want to be around. Be respectful and constructive. Remember to be respectful and constructive with your communication in discussions to fellow attendees. Don't get into tame wars, make personal attacks, vent, or rant unconstructively. Everyone should take the initiative to diffuse tensions and stop a negative threat as early as possible. Be collaborative. We are here to learn a lot from each other, share knowledge, and help each other out. You may disagree with ideas, but not people. Participate. Be a good listener. Be mentally present in the sessions you are interested in. Join in on discussions. Show up for sessions on time. Offer feedback on your event experience and help us get better in our community engagements. Basic etiquette for online discussions. Keep off-topic discussions to a minimum. Don't be spammy by advertising or promoting personal projects which are off the topic. Thank you.
Before we begin with our today's event, I have two requests for you guys. Front seats are empty, so I request people who are sitting at the back to occupy the front seats. So I request everyone who's sitting at the back, there are seats empty at the front. So please occupy the front seats. And I request also everyone to put their phones on silent mode so that you can actually enjoy the session without any disturbance and hindrance. So guys at the back, please occupy the front seats. We have seats empty at the front. So people who sitting at the back can actually occupy the front seats. Please quickly occupy the front seat so that we can begin with. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to this spectacular event today. We gather here with excitement and anticipation for an extraordinary performance and experience that awaits us. Whether you are a seasoned attendee or a first timer, we guarantee you that you are in an unforgettable treat. So sit back, relax, and let the magic unfold. Once again, thank you for gracing us with your presence. We are your hosts for the today. I am Neeraj Kumar Shukla, and we are your official hosts for the day. Stay tuned with us for an unforgettable experience. We now begin with our session. We now invite Mrs. Usha Ramani Demuru, who's the GDG Vizag organizer and the WTM ambassador for Vizag chapter, who's also an edtech entrepreneur, passionate about technology, teaching, learning, podcasting, to address the gathering with a warm welcome note. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello and welcome. Hello. Good afternoon. Higher energy? Has everybody eaten? If you haven't and you are waiting for your food to arrive, please, the next batch will arrive. Can you please, don't be hungry. You can go and eat and join us. Okay. Thank you for joining us and a very, very warm welcome to IO Extended. IO Extended is an extended version of Google I/O. Have you heard of Google I/O? How many of you have heard of Google I/O? Thank you. Google I/O is an annual event that happens in Shoreline Amphitheater, the head office of Google in San Francisco. There, the company CEO talks about what the company has done, what is the plans
for the next year, what products they want to release, what are the features or what are some things that they have in line for the developers actually so that they can use these technologies to create their own products and a lot more. So there it is more about the updates, but importantly, it is about connecting. And even today, the theme is connecting. Connecting developers, connecting students, connecting professionals, connecting community, and connecting with Google and all the other technologies that matter to us as developers. We are here today not because of some idea born yesterday, but it has been a journey that started way back in 2018. GDG stands for Google Developer Groups and WTM stands for Women Techmakers. Both these communities started in Visakhapatnam in 2018, and from there we have been joining with students and going forward because students is something that has been a majority of our ecosystem. Going forward, our community journey so far has been more of students and less of professionals because that is what the ecosystem of Visakhapatnam at large has been. More technology universities, colleges spread around, and very less companies who are working on core technologies actually at that time. I'm happy to share and note that there are quite a few that are upcoming, and actually many of you are joining companies, working from here to companies outside this city, outside the state, working for companies outside even the country, and maybe working for somebody else from here. A lot of options have come of late after 2018. The ecosystem has changed. And so, even for our community, while we have been extremely focusing on bringing more developers into our ecosystem, we believe that this professionals community who have been in the ecosystem is also very important. So, we are trying to cater to them as well. And this particular event has been our effort to reach to more professionals. Our community today is more than 3,000 people strong. And I am happy to share that most of them are students. Most of them are students who have even been with us for these 3, 4, 5 years, and they have transitioned to professionals and they have left for jobs. Many are here. Many come to be part of our community work, working in big companies actually. But today's event is special because we have thought that while we are doing a lot of events for students as our focus group, we thought let us spread it, let us involve because our community became equated to a student group. We didn't want that. We wanted it to be more inclusive of more professionals. And we saw that unfortunately professionals are like ఇక్కడ ఉన్నది ఇలాంటి ఒక కమ్యూనిటీ లేకపోతే we can join this, we can be part of it, we can contribute, collaborate అన్నది even it is a challenge for them also. It is not known actually. So this has been our attempt, and I'm happy to see that uh, of 250 that we have invited today, more than 60 are professionals. So when you have your networking time today actually, which will be a break in between, feel free to just talk to people whom you don't know because each comes with a different background. I want to talk about a special intent with which we started this event today, and that is think I'm reminded of this movie Chernobyl. Or have you heard of Oppenheimer? How many of you have seen? Good. So, film nuclear bomb, atom bomb, right? What is the theory behind it? Fission. And fission, we all, many of us are technology students are coming up with that premise actually. So it is only one or two particles that initiate this big explosion, isn't it? Yes or no? And what is the trigger for that? The conditions, the coming together, the pressure, isn't it? I don't know if we will give you that kind of pressure, but think of this room here as a high energy particles are all of you actually. When you're charged, you're excited, you're really looking forward to do something in life, to do something positive and worthwhile. And you're here for more ideas, for better people, like minded people just like you. And we have curated all of you to be the same audience, with the same background, with the same passion. So I invite you to be open to learning, be open to sharing, collaborating, networking, and having a great time today. With that, I leave you to a wonderful day ahead. Welcome to Google I/O at Vishakhapatnam.
And with that, we come to the end of our warm welcome and the beginning of an incredible journey filled with awe and wonder. Cherish the moments, make new connections, and take home memories that will last a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and tech enthusiasts, it is my honor to introduce you, our esteemed speaker for today's session on building software products in fascinating world of artificial intelligence. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Krishna Mohan Churukula, founder at Gurujara, who has been building software solutions for the past 25 years. He takes pride in being a hands-on programmer even after working as technology head for 10 years. He continuously explores new paradigms for building software applications and enjoys stitching software solutions from the open source. Enjoy the session and get ready to dive into the exciting world of AI-powered software products. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Just in case I slip into one or two Telugu words usage, how many of you don't understand Telugu at all? One, two, three. Thank you. I'll try to. How many of you can code? That is program. Not even 50%. I am expecting all of you to be coming from engineering colleges, first year compulsory C programming, right? Still, you don't want to put your hand up. I missed it. Actually, I asked the question again. So, how many of you basically maybe do data science? Much less. Heard of artificial intelligence and the recent advances? ChatGPT, how many of you heard? Now a difficult question. How many of you have already or have an ambition to do a startup? Thank you. You are not sufficient enough in numbers to save me. I'll explain. Looks like maybe out of 200 people here, 200, 250, whatever be the number, yeah, 80% are still aspiring to be employees. And I prepared my lecture for startup founders. I came to know that actually the number is like this. I mean, organizers team, actually the team basically still hired and told, see, now also madam was saying 60 professionals, 190 students, and right. Yesterday, actually, I thought of my sort of contact point with the organizing manager. So I asked him, actually, is it possible to provide a couple of bounces for me to get out of the uh, auditorium safely? He said, sir, your safety is your responsibility. Why? Well, I prepared a 20 slide presentation on how much the industry, the business, the startup ecosystem hates developers. So once I'm here, once I knew basically that 80% of the people are going to be software engineers themselves and not the startup founders. If I show those 20 slides, what will happen to me? Right? That is why I needed bouncers. And now bouncers means, what do I do? But I made a commitment. I have to tell you something that is useful to you. I cannot, basically, I come here, speak for 30 minutes, basically, and at the end of it, if you people feel that, hey, he knows something, that's not actually that what I'm after. After 30 minutes, if you people feel that, yeah, I have learned this, yeah, he opened a new way of thinking for me. Oh, can we think like this? You may not accept it, but at least if you understand some other viewpoints, I would think that actually my lecture is useful. 10% of you, even if you feel that, I would think that my lecture is useful. So, with the risk of personal physical safety, I want to get into why the startup ecosystem, why the industry, why the business is really hating a software developer. Have you heard, or at least are you aware of this idea? How many of you know that actually business hates software developers? Nobody knows. I'll prove. How many of you have heard no code environments? Isn't that one single demonstration that industry hates programmers? Why are you building no code environments when there are abundant programmers are available? Right? If programmers are available, then actually you don't want to invent no code environment. Why? No code environment is where the system generates code, or it builds the system without you writing the code. Okay? Such no code environments are a huge craze last 1 year, at least 1 year before. Why do you think actually they are being built? It was not the case some 15 years back, 10 years back. 10 years back, if I had a business idea, I used to go to a developer and ask him, please code this for me, I will explain you the logic, you write the code for me, let us make this particular idea a success, and I'll give you some money basically as your monthly something. If this really grows big, I'll actually share some part of the profits with you. And that is how a lot of companies were built 10 years, 15 years back. Now, no. How many of you have heard of Copilot? What does Copilot do? It writes code. Why do you think actually it is being applied in that particular area? See, there is so much it can do. It can actually work on basically human communication, so much. No, they are applying it first for coding. Why? Because they find developers to be very irrational to work with. I'm getting more worries about my CFT, looking at the reactions. Now, I was actually interacting, I was having a meeting actually this last weekend. Yeah, maybe around Friday or something. One particular funded company, basically, I don't want to name it, the founder actually was asking me if I can actually be a consulting architect for their company, along with being co-founder. So his he said actually we need a web application for this particular thing. Yeah, I want you to take charge and basically architect the solution and get it built with some programmers whom you can recruit. I said, okay, let us adopt this particular language, something else, having conversation. That was not learned, but then he made a statement. Krishna, all this is, I am giving my word, 6 months. 6 months is all it is. After that, yeah, you will write the code. So I asked him actually, so you want me to basically build my own grave, right? Are you getting the context? Why do you think actually this is happening? For example, the no-code platform that they are getting built are highly complex programming systems. And who are building it? Developers, programmers, right? Now the Copilot actually will generate code. Who's building it? The developers. So do you think there is any other community in the world which is actually building its own web? Is it the grave? How many of you believe that actually in 6 months' time, maybe 2 years' time, okay, let's take 2 years' time. In 2 years' time, the artificial intelligence is going to write program for me. Instead of me, basically, if I actually describe the particular system well, that particular whatever algorithm that is behind, it is going to write the code. How many of you believe it? When you see an image now, are you certain it is natural or is it generated? Can you identify? I don't think it's possible. Have you heard of Midjourney? Right? With a very good enough prompt, you can generate an image that's as close to reality, and probably with the naked eye, it's difficult to guess that it is generated. You would think that it is captured somewhere, right? Now, already you don't know basically when you get a call whether an artificial voice is speaking or a human is speaking. Already we don't know, right? So now actually this voice synthesizers and basically these voice generators, they along with actually the video generation algorithms combined together are going to produce speeches where probably it's like you will not even expect, and that particular video will be going viral. It's like something like basically a Russian president saying that in 10 days time I am going to actually nuke India. That sort of a speech can be generated, and it can be made viral. And the damage will be done before actually people realize that actually it is. So that particular problem of distinguishing reality from perception is going to be the biggest challenge in the coming years. Are you ready? Not one said yes. So it's going to be, anybody has seen Matrix? 1, 2, 3. Maybe watch it once. Especially the parts 2 and 3. Maybe basically, actually once the machines acquire sufficient intelligence and they start outplaying the human, the humans think of a very innovative way of stopping machines. What is it? They want to cut off the energy source. So they nuke all energy generating factories in the world. They bomb them, they bomb Earth, our planet, we are going to bomb ourselves. Okay? And they think actually that stops it. That stops the machines from working. And the machines actually then identify a unique energy source, the human. Our brain produces electricity. Are you aware? So they want to use this. So they build actually big farms, and in the farms, basically they keep tubes. In the tubes, millions and millions of humans are cultivated, like paddy fields, human fields. And to their brain, actually, a sort of a wire is connected, which actually pulls the electricity, and that actually gives the electricity to the machines. Are we reaching there? సరదాగా నవ్వుతున్నా వస్తే మొదటి 10 నిమిషాలు ఇతనేంటి ఇలా భయపెట్టి వదిలేస్తున్నాడు అసలు. ఓ 4 గంటల పాటు నవ్వుకుంటూ కాస్త అందరితో మాట్లాడుకుంటూ ఫుల్గా ఎంజాయ్ చేద్దామని వస్తే 10 నిమిషాల్లో బేసిక్ను నా I'll come back one more step. See, when you are actually building a particular system, suppose I am a startup founder. Okay? Now I don't know how to communicate with the developer. They don't understand what I speak. I'll tell you one, I think you must have read some sort of examples, but I repeat one example. It is one particular banking system, one new feature actually goes live. And suddenly, somebody in the cash department observes that $2 million of actually cash are distributed in excess. Somebody asked for $200, and then actually it has given basically $2,000. That particular program, and $2 million and the excess cash is distributed in the first 1.5 hours. Immediately, the entire business team panics, stops, and calls the developer urgently to come to the office. The developer was asleep. He gave actually, the code went into production at early morning, 4 o'clock. So he was not ready to come. These people asked him, actually, finally, the fellow came. And they asked him, actually, $2 million of cash are lost. He looks at them coolly and said, "Oh, I know the bug." Here, actually, I have to basically add the reminder. I forgot. It's just changing one to minus two plus, that's it. Joke అర్థం కాలే కదా మనందరం డెవలప్ ఉన్నాం మనకి జోక్ అర్థమైపోతే అలాగా if we understand we won't be basically we will be more sensitive. It is like somebody lost, somebody who has invested or somebody's money, $2 million is lost. And you want to say basically I just forget one minus and plus. This insensitivity to business is what actually is one of the main reasons business takes developers. Please understand them. They are the people putting money. They are the people giving money to you. Obscene salaries, right? You know basically what sort of salaries actually the salary difference between a normal somebody who is actually building what basically that particular bridge, that Jammu to Srinagar actually that bridge is being built, right? It's an engineering marvel. And the engineers who have actually built it obviously will be making one tenth of the money that actually a normal data entry or basically call center software person basically who's going to get. Why? Do you know any other profession where this sort of thing happens? How do I make you interactive, man? Not man. Basically, now here we have everybody is identifying themselves as he, him, she, her. What? Can I not see and identify? Okay. Okay, sir. So, is there any other profession where this sort of thing happens? Where that particular person is a specialist in his own domain. We don't understand that particular domain at all. But still we communicate with him and get our problem solved. Computer, leave the software part of it. Doctor, medical. Are you actually hating a doctor as much as actually a startup founder is hating developer? Do you hate a doctor? You hate hospitals, not doctors, right? Why? Doctor. Basically, a doctor is actually a profession that is very similar. You don't understand anything. You have to trust what he says. Right? He says basically now you have to go for a test, you will go. Right? Same. Again, basically he is going to explain something in a language that we don't understand at all. Same thing with software developers also. Right? Isn't it? So suppose actually somebody says, actually give me the list of users who have signed up in last 1 week. What do you say? Sir, it will take 2 days. Why? No, sir, actually I have to connect to the production database, basically then run the query, then export it into CSV, then I have to get it into Excel, format it and give it. Yes, no. Now tell me how is this different from basically what a diagnosis a doctor tells you? Why are you not hating a doctor so much? And why do you think basically a sort of in the business a developer is actually hated so much? Anybody else tell? అసలు అర్థం కావట్లేదా అలా చెప్పేస్తే నేను కొంచెం చెప్పాను కదా నా ఫిజికల్ సేఫ్టీకి రిస్క్ తీసుకుని మరి మాట్లాడుతున్నాను వద్దు సార్ నాకేం అర్థం కావట్లేదు అసలు మీరు చెప్తుంది పూర్తిగా బాహుబలి కథ జరగదు అంత కొండల నుంచి ఎవరు పడిపోవట్లేదు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ ఎవరు ద్వేషించట్లేదు యూ క్యాన్ we have no other option same with basically software engineers also no? So basically do you think the situation will be the same when actually AI starts coming in for diagnosis మెడికల్ డయాగ్నోసిస్ లో సపోజ్ ఏఐ తాలూకా ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ జరిగితే డాక్టర్లు కూడా మనం అలాగే హెల్ప్ చేస్తామా ఒకవేళ నిజంగా అదే జరుగుంటే బై నౌ ఆల్రెడీ డయాగ్నోసిస్ సిస్టమ్ షుడ్ హావ్ బీన్ ఇన్ ప్లేస్ వై సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ డెవలపింగ్ కమ్యూనిటీ is smaller compared to doctors, right? If there are more people who are hating doctors, then obviously they would have applied there first. Instead of a co-pilot, a co-doctor must have been the first product out of AI. Yeah?
Sir, you asked a serious question, like why are software engineers not serious? Because when it comes to doctors, we are more careful about our health. So when it comes about you, you are more aware. When it comes to business, it's not yours. Your work is just to build something and just go. So they are not more serious. That's my point.
So I don't want to take ownership as a software developer. Whereas, don't you think that's a big problem? You know, I mean, this has been a sort of a repeated advice that I keep giving basically when I go and meet your age people. Not just here. I mean, I go to campus interviews basically. I mean, recruiting basically engineers from the final year students is one of my specialties. So basically, several companies ask me to be part of that. They ask me not because actually of much usage. I mean, it's not that they first with a I am the first choice. They were unable to understand how to break you people's regular. Tell me something about yourself, sir. My name is this. My sweet family comprises of one sibling. My mother is a homemaker. Right? You by heart even your introduction. Yes, no. So these people basically see leave about the service industry, which actually is enough. They can, if you're speaking well, they can take. But for a product, a software product, where unless you have some sort of originality, some sort of uniqueness in you, you can't be taken. And when there are 1,000 people who are actually there, how do I differentiate or at least attempt to speak with those 40 people who have some sense of uniqueness about them? This particular problem is really being faced by the software startups. So they believe actually I have a solution for that. So they call me. So I break basically, I do the interview or I do the speaking in a way basically it does not fit into your normal thinking. మీరు ఏదో ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసుకుని ఇక్కడ వచ్చారు కదా, దీని తర్వాత ఇంకో స్లైడ్, దీని తర్వాత ఇంకో స్లైడ్, అక్కడ ఉన్న పాయింట్ హైలైట్ చేసి చెప్తాను. ఆ పాయింట్ ఒకటి చూస్తే చాలా అతను చెప్పింది నేను వెనక్కర్లేదు. We know how the classes go on, right? Right? If you have the PPT, that is enough. What is the need to listen to him actually? That is what I am specialist at. Breaking the stereotypes. Yeah. Coming back, basically, this is what I do when I go to actually a gathering of your type, your age, who are actually early stage professionals, or actually who are going to enter into their profession. Learn to communicate. ఒక్క భాష అయినా వచ్చా? I'm certain 99% of this particular gathering will fail to answer that. For example, if somebody says actually that I know one language, I'll ask them to come here for 5 minutes, speak on any topic without using a word from the other language. 99% of you will fail. Agreed? Agreed? That's your first problem. I don't know whether you people know C, C++. I don't know whether you people know Ruby, Python. At least know English. At least know Hindi, Telugu. Because those are the 3 languages that a business can speak. They cannot speak. అంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే మీతో C++ లో మాట్లాడినప్పుడు మీకు అర్థం కాదు. Do you agree? Can you actually go through that particular code that is available in the open source library? So the code is available. Can you go through that particular code and say this is doing this? Can you explain? No, you look for comments. Right? Why? తెలుగు, ఇంగ్లీషు, కలిపిన భాష, దేంతోనైనా try to build a communication channel with business. That is your biggest insurance for survivability, growth, and success. ఒక్కరికి నచ్చలేదా? నేనేమో ఇక్కడ ఒక మ్యాజిక్ ఐ షో సంథింగ్ అని అనుకుని ఇంత మ్యాజిక్ ఒక క్లాప్ రావాలి. థ్యాంక్ యూ స్లైడ్ వస్తే చెప్పండి కూడా అనుకున్నారు కదా. At the sound of being repetitive, at the sound of being criticized, paranoid, okay, at the risk of ఇతనికి హత్తుకోవడం తప్పించి యాక్చువల్గా ఏమి రాయడం రాదు. And if somebody basically for the last 3 of my tasks in the Google community basically they came, I was speaking something around these topics only for the last 3 sessions, right? So it is highly possible that you may think that I speak well basically but code none, right? Possible. Okay. But still, In fact, I hope to basically, I hope that I worry, I fear that the organizers won't call me from next time. ఎందుకంటే మేము ఏమొచ్చి మొట్టమొదటి మాట్లాడమని ఇస్తే మీరు మా వాళ్ళందరినీ భయపెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. వి వోంట్ గివ్ యూ ఛాన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద నెక్స్ట్ టైం. మీరు కనీసం ఒక్కసారి నేను అడగకుండా చప్పట్లు కొట్టుంటే అంటుంటారో నెక్స్ట్ టైం ఇతను ఫిలిం కావాలి ఇక్కడ కనిపించుంటే చాలా మీరు నాకు ఆ హెల్ప్ కూడా చెయ్యరు. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ దిగిన తర్వాత బయటకు వెళ్ళడం వల్ల తెలియదు. Okay, so here are our challenges. I made the whole thing actually a sort of. I tried to introduce the whole worries, tensions, risks to our future. Our future. I am a developer. I write code for buying food. No, I don't give lectures. Even if I give lectures, I don't take money for that. So it's not food for me. Even if I give lectures, that's not food for me basically because I don't get money for that. I will earn my money for the title code. So still, what I want to say is, for us, the risk is looming. It is almost on us. Where basically everybody is trying to replace. How to replace a developer is where actually millions and millions of dollars in the West are being spent now. The entire Sundar Pichai lecture for the IO, look at the beauty of it. He calls all developers and he is telling, I'm killing your profession by the way. And with that, right? Quick clap. How beautiful it is writing the code. No, thank you. ఒకసారి పెడితే నచ్చిందని, రెండు సార్లు వరుసగా పెడితే దిగిపోమని. దిగిపోమంటే దిగిపోతా. So the risk is on us. And it is looming on our head. With గుర్రం తోటి కత్తి వేలాడుతూ ఉంటుంది అంటారు కదా, రైట్? గుర్రం తాలూక తోక వెంట్రుక తోటి sword of Damascus. What is it called? Sword of Damascus. Sword of Damascus అంటారు. రాజుకి నెత్తి మీద ఆ కత్తలు వేలాడుతూ ఉంటుందట. తప్పు చేయగానే ఇలా పడిపోయి తప్పని పేకట్టబోతుంది. It is on us. At this moment, how do we win over this? I still believe we can win over this. I still believe that it is going to be years and years and probably never where the machines are going to win over humans. I strongly believe it. And I believe the human instinct for survival is what is going to make us survive. So if I have one suggestion for you as a developer, it would be build your human instinct. Think like a human. And it is so difficult now. Right? No. I mean, it's so easy, right? For example, it is so much easy now to induce behavior into you. You will not be natural. It is very easy to induce behavior into you. Right? Suppose actually I am putting my resume here. Okay? My name. And all of you people are here. Okay? Okay, I'll take. Okay? So, ఈ అబ్బాయిని చూసి ఆ అబ్బాయి పేరుని చూసి పక్కన హీ హ్యావ్ అని తోట అవసరం ఎంతమంది ఉంది? హీ హిమ్ అన్న దానికి అవసరం ఎంతమంది ఉంది ఉందా అది లేకపోతే మీకు కన్ఫ్యూజన్ వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎంత సరే మన అమ్మాయి వెళ్ళిపో The point is basically, no, I mean, you may look at it as basically any which way you want, but I took that example basically because I wanted to hit you hard. And I know that actually I'm crossing some limits. Some of you might actually feel there is gender discrimination, there is so much, and all that. And all of you might start thinking, hey, this fellow is going crossing limits. At the risk of that, I am actually took only that example. Then you not for example, other point me. Is in the kitchen, sir? Because it is so easy to induce behavior in you. Right? You would watch basically a Twitter handle and somebody writes there, oh, this is a cool way, right? And this is a way where I can actually put up basically saying that I don't discriminate. Yes, no? Kada? Nenu, I don't actually consider women inferior and cheppali ante what is that way? Oh, ide way untundi. So I'll put basically in my so with a very good intention he has kept it and basically but he does not know why. It is so easy to induce behavior into you. And once the behavior is being induced, you stop becoming humans. You become machines. And once you become a machine, that will beat you left, right, and center. Like 2 minutes. So that will beat you left, right, and center. So you cannot. The best example of basically working with a machine and using it for productivity has been done by chess. Chess is one domain that has done it. You must have known actually the Deep Blue computer some 15 years back has defeated actually Gary Kasparov, the best chess player. Now no chess player actually plays with it. He knows. It's not that they're intelligent. They can calculate faster. So don't get into a game basically which they can play. Once you are machines, it will beat you. So be humans. Retain your uniqueness and build your human instinct. And you are going to have great future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Krishna Mohan Chirukula, sir, for sharing your invaluable knowledge and experiences with us today. Your passion for AI and software product development has left us inspired and eager to explore new horizons in this dynamic field. So once again, thank you so much, sir. Guys, I don't hear the claps. Can you have it louder? Still louder. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, we are delighted to have some experts with us, ready to share their insights on the cutting edge developments in the tech industry, who will also share some IO updates with us about Flutter, WebAssembly, and machine learning. Without further ado, let me introduce our speakers for the session, Ms. Bala Tripura Sundari, WTM Ambassador and Flutter Developer and HR at Expresso Technologies, Mr. Mani Teja Pratham, Front-End Developer at Layout, and Mr. Sri Teja Dusi, student at Geetham University, who's also an ML enthusiast. Guys, a huge round of applause for our next speakers.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I think you had good food, good talk on AI era. I think we gained some knowledge, like we got some idea, I guess, right? Like how we need to think about the future from now onwards. So, yeah, next we had, so basically our theme of this event is Google I/O Extended. So, how many of you know that what is I/O? Anyone from the audience? Any idea of what is IO extended? What is IO? No one? Okay, so let me tell you. So every year Google releases some new updates and features from through these Google technologies. You know that. So that one will be calling it as input and output. So mainly this event will be given by Sundar Pichai at Amphitheatre, Shoreline Amphitheatre. So we at GDC communities, what we do is we go through, we deliver what updates given by Google to us, to the students and professionals in the separate cities. So like that, we can't cover all the updates, but still we'll try to give a few updates what we got from the Google technologies right now. So here I am to give a new update on Flutter. How many of you are Flutter developers? Flutter, Android. Okay, good. Okay, fine. Thank you. So yeah, so we had new updates with Flutter and Dart as well. I think so. This pointer is not working. Thank you. Pointer not working. Okay. Okay. So so I think so. We got a. You all know that all who are working with Flutter, we got a new release of Flutter 3.10. So this is a new release. I don't know whether how many of you have tested with that. This is the latest version of Flutter. And you know that Flutter is basically for like basic knowledge. Okay, so that's the main key point for the Flutter. And so basically, what this Flutter does is that see here. Basically, this time we got the new updates for these. Them basically focusing upon the graphical experience what is given by the Flutter. And next we have integration with web and more. We have new APIs, not more plugins we got this time. And we have a good architecture, state management and architecture also. We got this new update in Flutter. And and these are the few of the frameworks. Material 3 is already there, but in Material 3 also there are few things which are not there previously. They're getting into the next version of that. So color scheme, navigation bar, navigation. We had a color change before that. We don't have any color picker option in a Flutter. So that is a one more key feature which was given by the Flutter this time. And navigation bar, search bar, and search anchor. So these are the even I didn't try those. Even I should try now. And next text field updates, triple click, and till now we had a double click and we need to take in the text. Now we have a triple click option also. So these are the one more updates. And next. Yeah, coming into the iOS, I don't use iOS. I'm basically using an Android. I'm not much into iOS, but still, these are the updates in iOS we got. So we had a spell check support. Until now, in Flutter from the starting of the channel, we don't have any feature of spell check. So this time we got this update. That's something very cool. I can sense that. And wireless debugging, wide gamut, and image support also we got this time. And camera standard support we got. We have to test it. We started maybe 2 weeks ago. It was there in the Flutter 3.10 update. Not in 3.1, 3.10 update we got the camera support. And coming to the web, already these are already there, but Canvas kit is something new one. But other two were already element embedding, and this one is already there before. It was started in Flutter forward in the year this year in the month of Jan. So Canvas kit is a new feature we got in Flutter this time. And so yeah, basically what this is, Flutter is the first framework designed architecturally around new and emerging technologies like Canvas kit and WebAssembly. WebAssembly, we can have next speaker have Manteja will give you more research on WebAssembly. It's super cool. You have to try. All the developers should try WebAssembly. And yeah, these are the about the Dart. My team did done some changes in my PPT. I don't know. I thought to give you some insight on Dart as well. We had a Dart new update as well, Dart 3. So there we had null safety. I don't, how many of you have idea about Dart before going to that? Okay, thank God. Okay, so Dart this time. So you all, if you are a beginner, definitely don't understand. If you have something experience on that, you definitely know about this 100% null safety in Dart. So we had new language features there and Latin comparison. This is the new feature added by the Dart. And see, this is the null safety timeline. I can't give you more, I can give you, but there is a time permit for us, so we don't have much time to get deeper. So if you have any doubts or if you want to know anything more about the Flutter and Dart, I'll definitely be here. You can go our networking session. You can come and definitely contact me. Okay? Yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Hi. Hi guys. Hi guys. Before going into the presentation, I want to just give a slight introduction about myself. My name is Maniteza. I live in Vizag. I roam in Vizag. I work at Norway. No, no, guys, don't clap. If you clap, my mind get deviated. Yeah, so today I would like to give a small introduction about WebAssembly because even if I try to give in-depth explanation, it would take days. So I won't go in-depth. I would just give you a small introduction in quick 5 minutes. So just like how you had your slight lunch, I will just give you in a slight introduction. So my topic is web assembly. Slide puppet and చూస్తున్నారా? Okay. Okay. So why I just asked to keep this slide is my entire presentation is summed up in this one slide itself. So I'm going to give a small introduction about web assembly. So how many of you guys work with web? Great. Do you code in web or use web? Use web. Very good. That's even better. Yes. So I just want to quickly ask one question. Uh, which language browser can understand directly? Which language? Very good. JavaScript. Don't confuse. I don't ask English, Telugu, not this. I'm asking coding languages. So yeah. So browser by default understands JavaScript. So, but if you understand the slide, there are some other languages as well. Can you spot any other language? C, Go, Rust, C++. Yes. So all these languages. Any reason? Anyone? Any guesses? What will be the next slides? If you guess, then why I need to give presentation, right? So please listen. Yes. So before I just Manas, I want to quickly explain in short about web. So what is web? We all know web is a client and server architecture where there will be a client and there will be a server. So client will make a request to the server and server will give the response. All this works fine until there is a good internet connection. So what happens if the internet is bad? We and server will fight, right? We reload the page, we beat the mobile phone, we do all sort of things, right? Yeah. So next slide. Yes. So WebAssembly. Next slide. Yeah. This is the last slide, but entire topic is there in this slide only. Yes. So there are two parts, right? For the web, there will be a front end and there will be a back end. If you observe that picture, so the front end is the guy who is on the left. So what is he looking at? JavaScript. What is the guy? No, not the guy, a woman. I kept it another reason as well. If you understand. So what are the languages are there for the women presenter? Java, Go, Rust, Java, Ruby, Python. I love Java, that's why I keep it two times. So the main reason why I kept that slide was for front-end developers, there is only one language of choice. What is it? We need to use JavaScript, even though we like it or not. But browser understands JavaScript by default. But for backend developers, there are many languages, right? You can code in Java, you can code in Go, you can code in Rust, Ruby, Python, anything of your choice. The problem comes here. So whatever the backend gives to the front end, we need to display it with JavaScript. But as you know, JavaScript is a tortoise. It's slow and also quite memory inefficient. I'm not just saying generalized manner. So the main benefit of web assembly is you can bring in own language. So you can code in Rust, you can code in Ruby, you can code in Java, you can convert that language into a special format, into a special binary format which is understood by the browser. And that special format is called web assembly, also known as WASM. Right. So simply, if you, I don't think the example is visible. Even if the example is visible, I don't think you guys will understand. So just blur it. So, so if you observe, there is an HTML file, there is a JavaScript file, and there is a .rs file, which is Rust. So the ultimate idea of this example is to what WebAssembly is basically means. Its meaning is there in its definition. WebAssembly, which means it's an assembly format code. So how many of you guys heard about assembly code? బీటెక్ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ చదువుంటే మీకు పక్క వర్డ్ వినే ఉంటారు. So what is assembly level language? Which is the lowest level, highest level? Okay. So what happens with web assembly is you bring in your own language. So you can write Rust, you can write Java, you can write any language. WebAssembly converts that code into a special format which will be understood by the browser. So you can use other languages inside the browser. So you can, Manas. So, okay, next slide. Yeah, because time is going short. So the main applications you might think, I know JavaScript. Why do I need other languages, right? So simply to put it up, there are certain use cases where JavaScript is not sufficient to coding. Imagine how many of you guys use Figma? Just I don't ask you, just how many of you know about Figma? So Figma is like a big visual tool, right? So uh, what WebAssembly will do is WebAssembly helps us to perform operations very faster compared to JavaScript. So there are many applications for WebAssembly. So the first one is video editing inside the browser. You can do AI computations. You can run blockchain. You can also display 3D animations. So the things which cannot be performed with JavaScript efficiently, you can use WebAssembly to make it faster and memory efficient. So if any one of you want to see a small demo of WebAssembly, you can visit this URL yttools.verser.app. Basically, this tool I built this as an example to show it to you guys. What this website will do is you can enter a YouTube video URL and you can directly trim, crop, add background music, do whatever you want in your browser and without internet. So WebAssembly provides all these benefits. So I will try to, in maybe next sessions, I will try to give a deep dive. But I hope just introduce a new word for all of you guys called WebAssembly. Thank you. Thank you for assembling here.
Hi. Okay, so I'm Sridhar and I'm here to give you updates about ML. So, this is good. Okay, fine. So generative AI. Okay, generative AI. Like these days, generative AI is being a hot topic. So and Google is also have been working on it for a long time. And generative AI is actually generating stuff like text or images using large language models or other ML techniques. Fine. These are some of the applications of generative AI in Google, where first one is search generative experience, where Google uses generative AI for generating search results which are like formatting text or generating stories or poems in right inside the search box. The second one is Duet AI. Google uses generative AI in its Google Workspace products like Excel or Google Slides, where it generates text or numbers or images there itself. The third one is Magic Data for Google Photos, where it uses generative AI again to enhance photos with effects and filters, and also remove the background images or noises from your image. Okay, fine. So all of these generative AI things is possible with Palm 2. Palm 2 is a model designed by Google where it has taken nearly 430 billion parameters. That's a lot of zeros, right? So it is 5 times larger than its predecessor, uh, and it also provides scalability. Uh, MediaPipe is another framework by Google where developers can easily integrate many like many models, ML models into their web applications or Android applications. It also provides image recognition and text generation, etc. The one is when you if you show your hand, it can spot 21 and it can also take multiple images. Tens of tens of ML for vision and text. Coming to this, Google has text generation and the image generation, where it is easier to implement with low code and nearly no code. Making nearly 2 to 3 months GPT, right? So you might have also seen on the internet like you are Windows 11 keys as a lullaby, and it gives you the Windows 11 keys or Windows 10 keys. So before the GPT, like the language model didn't used to know which is sensitive information and which is insensitive information, which is now fixed by Google in the recent models. Right. So as we also did for everyone, we make the technology a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you, team, for all the updates. And I just want to update from my side. Those who still have to take your lunch or anybody who's even more hungrier, there is food outside for the next 10 to 15 minutes. There's hungry and go take the food. The same for the food will be closed in 10 minutes, so make sure your tummies are full.
So yeah, who wants to actually have the lunch? Lunches have arrived and it's getting cold, so you can actually have it if anyone wants to have it or if feeling hungry. Going time for some fun activities after some brainstorming tech sessions, right? What say? Need some fun activities or not? So the sound should be louder. Audible more. Good. So now I hand over the stage and the dice to Miss Uma Pratima and Ms. Swapna Dande for a fun icebreaker session where they'll be explaining about the session. I request everyone to participate actively and enthusiastically in this next fun session. You may join the Slido quiz by using the QR code or the passcode. Please join the quiz for a fun quiz.
Hello everyone. Are you excited to play slide again? Okay, then scan this one and we get. We need more than 200 plus people are there in the audience. Sir. So everyone, I request everyone to just join and play this. They're having some goodies and something for food. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, fast. Hurry up. Here is your code. You can go with the slider.com. Then you can enter the code 2741 230.
33 people have logged in. We are waiting for others to log in. Guys, please
And
quickly
you
log
can
in.
also scan the QR code. Guys,
89.
please enter your full names. Don't add your nicknames or any names, please. Otherwise, we can't find you.
No hero names as well. Your original name.
Yeah, sure.
135. Waiting for others to join. Please quickly join ASAP.
Yeah, volunteers, if you want to participate, you can.
Even volunteers can participate because these questions are not known by them. Yeah, volunteers can also play the game.
Yeah, we
2741230.
guys, hurry up.
178 people. Few more are left to yet join. Please join. 194. Few more.
Guys, hurry up.
Sundar Pichai has also joined the side of his guys.
Yeah, you can also read it.
Guys, Sundar Pichai is waiting for others to join so that we can begin.
Let's start.
In the next
Let's
3
start.
seconds. On the 3 to 1, we'll start, okay?
Yeah, what your first question?
No Google guys, this is a Google event, no Googles please.
Make sure they're not doing that.
I think 43 members are
Only
answered.
15 have answered.
75. The count is increasing. Wow.
Oh,
Okay, most of the people answered that he started a chain reaction for 4 minutes. We'll see the correct answer. Like
yeah.
making patience.
I think
Only 18%
everyone
have
is doing
answered.
Google. So that's why they are not answered, I think.
Most of the people also.
80% answered correctly, guys.
We can see a leaderboard.
Session,
Okay, cool.
What is take for the
Guys, correct answer is expected from everyone in this question at least. We have come to extend it, so a correct answer is expected.
10 seconds more. Let's do it fast.
answer?
Wow,
Wow.
68% of people have answered correctly. Prasida.
Wow.
Okay, proceed guys for your information.
No,
Please read your board.
Okay, here is your next question. I think everyone answered this question. Right? Come on. What is WebAssembly?
Just now session.
Just now, yeah. We given a lot of good session, I think.
One, two, three. Oh yeah.
Wow. I'm getting more excited.
A binary format for executing code. We'll see the correct answer.
Yes.
Half of the people have answered it correctly, guys. Sophia is leading the board as of now.
Where is Sophia?
Who's Sophia? Okay.
Sophia,
Congratulations.
Next question. What is the difference between open homer and a pizza? A pizza doesn't have a mushroom cloud, a pizza doesn't have a security clearance, a pizza doesn't have a Nobel Prize, and a pizza doesn't have a court. This question was given by me.
Guys, come on.
Yeah, most of the people answer a pizza doesn't have a Nobel Prize. We'll see.
Right, sir.
14% have answered it correctly. Only 14%.
Leaderboard.
Kalyana Allu is
Kalyan
leading.
Allu.
Who's Kalyana Allu, please? Yeah. Volunteers, please. Congratulations, Kalyan.
Okay, guys, we will go for our next question. What is the latest version of Matter?
Balaji.
I think Bharat already told you.
All correct answers expected, guys.
Yes, we want 100% answer.
Twenty-two.
Okay.
90% answer the correct.
Guys, will you listen to the session or not?
90% have answered correctly, which means you are alert.
Why? What happened?
So go leaderboard.
Leaderboard.
It's okay.
Again, it's again Kalyan Allu.
More focus.
No.
More gift centric.
What
Okay,
is
this is
the
a very
answer?
famous question.
Wow.
Yeah,
10,
I think
8,
this was a very
7.
fun.
No public answers. No public answers, please.
Then
No collective
we'll just
answers.
ask you for the count, not the number, not the names, okay?
No collective answers, guys, please.
How
There
many
is no
are
option of nota.
hands here?
Wow.
Girls are raising their hands.
Oh. Acha, do we have BTS army here? How many BTS army here? Oh, cool.
I think boys didn't answer for the question.
Okay, here is your right answer is 11.
Let's see the leaderboard.
Leaderboard, please.
Again, it's Kalyan Allu who's leading. Kalyan, this is the last gift. You receive 3 gifts.
Yeah.
It's getting to the main gift.
What is the full form of palm?
Guys, answer expected. Full form of palm. PLM.
We are in Google I/O extended and I hope everyone will answer this question. Powerful AI long. Okay, this is the correct answer.
Oh!
Half of the people have answered it wrong.
Next question.
What is Android 14 called?
Yes, it is the coming version of Android 14.
The upcoming latest version of Android. What is it called?
Guys, hurry up, don't discuss, otherwise you lose your goodies.
Wow, oh, well done, okay. We'll see the correct answer.
Yes, upside down cake.
Leaderboard, please. It's Gerela Harshvardhan. Congratulations, logistics CPs.
Yeah, here is your next question. ఒక మటన్ అంటే శబ్దం అదే మీరంటే శాస్త్రం
No group answers. Guys, no group answers, please. No group answers, please.
I don't know. Anyone? ఇప్పుడు అందరూ అడిగారు ఎవరు చూస్తారు ఎవరు జైపాలి ఎవరు
We are getting voice out here once again.
Come on. చెప్పాలి
ఒకసారి mic లో please. ఒకసారి mic లో.
జైపాలి చెప్పాలి
Mic లో ఒకసారి.
రిజెక్షన్
Guys, cheer up, guys. Cheer up. Where is the voice? Come on, come on. Mic lo please. Come on, come on. Guys, cheer up. Guys, there is an applause. Dialogue, please.
ఒక మాట నువ్వంటే తాపనం
Guys,
అంటే దైవతాపనం
Acha, can we have mic there, please? Can we have mic there, please?
Okay, so team, please hurry up.
Okay, last question, guys.
In the movie, to fun and frustration, what is the Wendy's main frustration in his marriage? His mother-in-law's interference, his wife cooking, his wife constant shopping, his father-in-law's temper.
I want one more option, one of them.
Guys, this is the last question. Do it fast.
We'll have final leaderboard.
Wow, it was
Wow. Yes.
exactly. So,
Harshvardhan is the final winner of this session.
congratulations to all 5 participants for a top 5. They are able to come on the dance, the top 5 people.
Let's come to the stage, please.
Let's call Harshvardhan, Kalyan, Sriram, Indika, Balaji to come on the dais for the felicitations. Guys, clap, please. Kalyan has his fourth gift. Right? Guys, there is no appreciation, please. Appreciate the party, guys. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys. Hope you must have enjoyed the session. Did you guys enjoy or not? Well, that sounds fun. And now we are excited to dive into the next session where we will be exploring the critical topic of improving website efficiency with core web vitals. In today's digital age, optimizing website performance is more important than ever. With core web vitals becoming a key ranking factor, understanding how to enhance user experience is paramount. Our next speaker is a renowned expert in web development and performance optimization and is here to shed light on significance of web core vitals. So without a further ado, let me invite Mr. Varun Raj Manoharan, co-founder of Script, the renowned Firebase expert and Google developer expert, who is set to share his insights on implementing web core vitals.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think everyone's sleepy at lunch. Probably the wrong session I took. Can you hear me? Good morning. Good afternoon. Wonderful.
So, how many of your students here? Pretty much everyone. How many of you are professionals like working, building an app? So, how many of you are building an app or working on a product that builds an app? Okay, someone who wants to talk about the app. Someone. I know all developers are introverts, but no, there should be someone. Yeah, someone like what sort of app you build? Come on, guys. Let us sleep. Yeah,
An app which helps us have fun.
so app that helps us have fun. So, how many of you use web apps or websites day in, day out at your work, school, college, wherever? So, what comes to your mind whenever we talk about the web on the whole, right? So, what comes to your mind? For me, it one thing is that it is accessible everywhere, and also anyone have access to it, right? It's not get restricted. So, what comes to your mind? Anyone? I think I this session I want to be more interactive because I don't have much slides. So I need to handle the time accordingly. So tell me what comes to your mind. Just shout out. Spider-Man, yeah, that's beautiful. So yeah, even with spiders, where what is important? What comes to your mind as a user? What all annoys you whenever we talk about this? Sorry, page load time. Sorry, I don't know. Can you come again? Error. Yeah, that's what I know, sir. So we can play games. So whenever it runs out of memory, it just crashes, right? So crashes is one annoying factor. What else? Sorry? APIs. But what is annoying about APIs? Like too complex to use. Yeah, that is also like the web service part of it. What else? I think I'm getting a lot of good answers. I think we can keep going on. Sorry? Network. So we live in a place, or we all collectively share a country that has a different varieties of speed, right? So same website access from different regions tend to have different behavior. So speed, load time, page size, design, lot of things are there, right? So today we're going to talk about three important metrics that you can harness to build a good website. So it can be a website, it can be a blog, anything that shows content, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. Myself, Varun. Sorry for a two contrast picture. So I work at Script. So I run a company called Script. So we build products for product managers. So we have like a feedback management tool for collecting feedback about your product, and also we are working on a document management system where you can put your knowledge base. So that's what is HelpOS and FeatureOS is. And myself, I am a Firebase developer expert. So when I agreed for the talk, I also got a request saying that we need to talk about Firebase as well. So during the question session, probably we can talk more about Firebase. And in case if you guys have any questions or anything, keep it ready. So we'll be able to discuss on that as well. And also, I run GDG Chennai. I used to run GDG Chennai. I'm advising. So I'm part of the community, so we can be not like super from the industry kind of a guy. So you can raise any questions, even though if it is so basic or so complex. If I'm capable, I'll be able to answer on it. So that should be a why and not a what, but we can take both as a consideration. Why and what website should be faster. Okay, shout out why website should be faster. Which website? News traffic, yeah, which is you are looking for something happen on your city and you want to go visit it. It should not keep loading and loading, right? Something that gives you information should be faster. What else? IRCTC should be faster because it deals with payment data, right? And very crucial, booking data. So IRCTC should be definitely faster. We should put a petition, I guess, right? So what else? Shopping, yeah. Shopping websites, the main reason why shopping websites should be faster is that, if you don't build a really good, faster shopping websites, people will spend more time loading the website rather than actually just looking at your, collections. So,
Maps,
yeah,
maps.
maps should be faster because you need online exams. Yeah, online exams. Maybe the results. Every time we get results, it crashes. Only still, even in Andhra, it's the same case. Because in Tamil Nadu, NIST results are like so bad.
And money transfers.
Money transfers, yeah, money transfers should be faster. I think one point here is that money transfer should be faster, but more than that, transfer should be more stable. So that's why we still see that loading and all those things. Right. So we also cover about stability here. So, every website you use, if it is slow, it will cause a lot of troubles for the user. Maybe they are in a hurry and then they're not able to do. So this is one common problem I face, right? So we use this. I use this app for traveling. Right? Whenever I take a flight, I have this Indigo app and then I have my boarding pass there. So every time I open for showing in the security, it just loads. I already standing in a queue and then people are waiting in the back. And every time it loads, it's very annoying. Why don't they cache it? So it's going to be permanent data. If my boarding pass is booked, it should be always cached, right? So such thing is actually very crucial for user because you don't know where exactly your user is using it on and what sort of situation he is in. So anytime you build an app, it should be faster. And moreover, websites that give you data and collect data and process data should be faster. Basically, every website should be faster. Right? So that's what we're going to talk about. And how many of you are web developers? You said cool. I think then it's a more relevant talk because this is purely for the web, and you can take some inspiration of this for your mobile apps as well. Any mobile app developers? Oh, cool. And any AI, Gen AI, generative AI? Nice. Interesting. So I think any other tech apart from mobile, you might have to rely on web in order to build an interface for your app users, right? So ultimately, we revolve around these two clients, web and mobile. Maybe something in the future Apple is bringing this vision where it's completely a whole different paradigm, but we'll talk about it later. So how many of you know what is web core vitals? Vitals, vitals, this one the region we talk about. How many of you know about this? Anyone? Super. I think then it's going to be a fresh new thing that you're going to learn. So, I will give you a touch upon the high level thing on a very layman term so that I want to kindle this curiosity in you so that you can go and then explore more on it, build a website, and actually test it out. Right? Yeah. So, core web vitals is basically a benchmarking metric for websites brought by Google, so that we have three primal, metric which we can rely on to optimize our websites to get a better score. Right. So that this core web vital is all about. We spoke about the problems, we spoke about the issues in the web app, right? So how do you put a number to it? So that is what this core web is. So that when you analyze your application, you'll be able to either reduce the number for a good efficient website, or you need to increase the number for a good efficient website. Right? So that's what this core web vital is. Any doubts? I guess with me, I need one doubt probably so that I can know that you guys are listening. Any doubts? Cool. I think it's pretty boring, isn't it? Yes. So there are three things. SCP, FID, and CLS. Anyone knows about these things? Largest contentful paint, first input delay, and cumulative layer shifts. So this is what we're going to talk about. All good. So what do you guys think about largest contentful paint? What does it trigger in your mind? Yeah. Right. So, for example, he said about a news website, right? Where your article is your primary source of the primary information that you want to show to your user. So basically, it says that how fast or how long it takes for your website to render the biggest content of your website. Right? So that is largest contentful thing. Anyone, any idea about first input delay? First input delay. So basically, yeah, this is a tricky one. So I'll give a base about. So how long it takes for your browser to respond to the interaction that the user made. For example, you open a website, you click on login button, right? And the browser processing this login action, how long it takes to send a signal back saying that okay, it is actually taking some sort of action on it. So how long it takes for making that action and then getting a response. So that is called as first input delay. The last one is a pretty interesting one that we all face in a lot of websites where you load a content and suddenly the content changes. You don't have any clue on what exactly happened. Have you faced this before? So you click on a login button and suddenly you get an error message and then the login button shifts down because you need to show an error message there, right? Random. And you keep reading an article, suddenly an ad pops up, and then your content entirely is filled with ads. So that is basically calculated with this cumulative layout shifts. So you render a website, make sure that it is always same until the user is actually making an action. So don't change it randomly in the middle. So that's what we're going to talk about cumulative layout shifts. So before that, we spoke about different types, right? So what are the common types of websites? So websites or anything that we see in the browser. Commercial websites, but based on I'm talking about categorization based on the content that we receive on the websites. E-commerce is again some sort of a data gathering or information website. And LMS, so LMS is more like where you interact with the website, right? It's not one way, it's two way. And the third one, sorry, streaming websites also is more like distribution, right? Like you consume content from it. So the third one, I would say, uh, yeah. So these are the three categorization: web pages, portals, and dashboards. And last is web apps. Any examples for this? Probably if you guys get anything. Any example for web apps, web pages? GDG page, yeah, you see content and you just see a page, right? GDG page, any news, blogs, articles, Google Scholar, anywhere you see a page and then you consume information. And what about portals and dashboards? WordPress admin is a portal. YouTube Studio, yeah, YouTube Studio is a portal or dashboard. Any other? Sorry, easy on. I'm not sure. Yeah. Any other portal or website? Dashboards? Anything you manage content or anything you manage or operate. Instagram, if they have a website or something, I mean, studio or something like that, yeah. So where you interact with the content and you read content. It's kind of a communicative tool. The last one is a very interesting thing that is kind of booming now. Web apps. What is the difference between app and a page? Yeah, app is something cash, but I'm talking about more on the use case point of view. What is an app? We all use several apps on the web, dynamically interact, but all the even the web portals are dynamic interact. But how does it differentiate from apps? So usually we call until recently we used to call portals and dashboards as apps, but now there's a new segment, right? So how do you use Figma here? Pretty much a lot of people, right? So Figma is a web app because it helps you do a lot of things in an unconventional way. Like Figma could be a web app. You can go to, yeah. If Google Slides. So I prepared this entire deck in Google Slides, right? So it helps you to build content, not just content, process data in a different way. Like Google or Docs, Slack, Discord, it's all it helps you to communicate. Right? It's just not it's not restricted to one data management or sort of thing, but it helps you to perform actions. So that is the major difference between a web app and a web page or a dashboard. Right? So yeah. So what we're going to talk majorly about is the first part, right? So in major cases, the web writers are look only for this part of the web, right? So web pages. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. So as I said, LCP is largest contentful page. So for example, if you load an app, load Facebook, how long it takes for you to see the feeds, right? So because feeds is major content. And if you opened Twitter.com, I don't know if supposed to say Twitter anymore, but when you open, how long it takes to see all the tweets or posts, right? So that is the largest contentful page. Or if you take a magazine website or a news website or online article, anything, how long it takes to, or e-commerce again, right? So for example, if you open the page and you see the menu bar, but you don't see the actual product description, then it is meaningless, right? So actual product description is what the largest contentful page is here. So for example, if you see a sample website where we load the page and we see bits and pieces of the application getting loaded, and when the last page is when the largest content loads, that's when it is actually meaningful for the user, right? So it is basically the measurement of time, how long it takes for the first contentful paint to the largest contentful paint. So how long it takes, right? So that is what is measured by the LCP metric. So any doubts? So now, with considering this, can you guess what can affect an LCP? Yeah. So what affects the LCP? Any guess? Any guess? The image sizes? Yeah, because you load a 2 MB image, but you are in a very slow internet. It takes a lot of time to load images. Image sizes. Anything else? Fonts? Yeah. Fonts. Sorry. CDN fonts, yeah. But fonts also loads only in the later stage, right? You get the content and then you update the font. Font usually doesn't affect LCP. It affects another metric that I'll talk about. But what about things that are dynamically fetched by the browser rather than rendered by the server? For example, you open Twitter and you see the post loaded, right? So if the load is taking more time, then it is basically an LCP issue, right? Because it's taking a longer time to take the content. So rather, if you can somehow get all the data in the server and then send us an HTML, it'll be easier to it'll be loaded in the first. So things like images, size of the image, source of the image. So, for example, as you said, 2 MB file could take a long time. So, try to reduce it to 200 KB or 300 KB, and then load it, and then it will increase your page responsiveness, right? And also, where are you serving these images from? So, for example, how many of you know this concept called CDN? Yeah, probably someone can explain. Content distribution network. So, what does it do? What does it do? Right. Right, exactly. So CDN is basically a bunch of it's a network of servers where you upload an asset, say image, video, whatnot, like whatever, and it gets served from the nearest location that is where you are serving it from. For example, if you are in India and then be served in Mumbai, you will be served from the Mumbai server. Right. So why this actually helps us that every time you make a connection to a server in the US, we need to travel all the way to US, even though it travels in fast speed, it takes a delay, right? So whenever we serve from a region which is very local to us, it will be faster. Even the 2 MB image, which will load which will take, for example, a minute, not a minute, like 2 seconds to load from your server, might take less than 300 ms, 400 ms to load from Mumbai server, right? So we can optimize that and also uh, reduce the, I mean, load all the images. For example, if you're using if you're looking at a collection of photos, a photo album app or something like that, and you see four photos in the first screen or the actual screen of your app. You don't have to load all the other 300 photos in the album, right? Because anyway, it's not going to be meaningful for the network to be consumed, and also all the data coming to the process memory and then rendering, even without showing in the browser, it's going to be a waste of memory as well. So try to lazy load images. Show only there are ways to lazy load. Like Chrome gives you native support to lazy load images, where you can render only the images that are visible in the browser, and as and when you scroll down to the page, it gets visible. Right. So these are the ways you can simply improve your LCP. Clear? You don't know that? Any doubts so far? Cool. So the next one is a pretty tricky one, which is first input delay. So as I said before, it's more like I'm calling him and then I'm saying to do something, and how long it takes to respond, right? So it's more like like you click on a button, how long the browser is actually taking to respond to the button. So this is usually very hard to find because every time you click on a button it works, right? But in a lot of cases, when something else is running on your browser, this will not actually work, right? So yeah. So what happens is that there's something called blocking UI and non-blocking UIs, right? So blocking is basically runs on the main thread, and it will not run any other process until the thread is completed, right? So for example, I assume that I'm building a image processing app, and then after editing, I'm just generating it, right? And until the generation completes, I cannot do anything on the app, right? Something like that. So every time you load a page, after you load the page, how long it takes for the first interactive element to be active, right? So this basically causes websites when it has a lot of ads trying to load inside the, like trying to inject into the web page with the main thread. This will get impacted. So try to avoid apps. Try to avoid JavaScript that are running on the main thread on the load of the page, so that whenever you load the page, all the elements are interactive, and then it will run everything in the background, so that you don't block the user from actually interacting with. For example, like for example, this could have been one more scenario, right? When you try to load Facebook.com, you click on notification and it not work for few seconds, because it could have been loading the notification in the back and then trying to render it. So that is basically the first input delay. Try to avoid any blocking of elements when you load the page, and let everything happen in the background. So this is a classical example. So for example, the network request is made, and the application is rendering basically painting the content, and the user does an input, and then the browser is actually responding to that input, right? It could be typing of text and clicking a button, or clicking on a div of the page or anything. So this period is basically first input delay. So we should not, you know, have a lot of delays on any interactive element. So that is first input delay. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? How many of you with me? Shout out. Shout out is very dull. No, there's no first input delay. There's a lot of first input delay. I hear a lot of new. No, I think I feel like in college, and then I hear a lot of weird sound. I used to make in college. That's nice. Cool. So let's move to the last one. Cool. Yes. Super. So the last one is the cumulative layout shifts. So any guess from the points that I said previously? I already spoke about it, but anyone can understand from the things written on the note? Yeah, random content. Or random content or something that you keep reading and suddenly something is vanished or something is changing, right? Because every time you right change. Yeah, exactly. Like for example, I open a article in TechCrunch, and in the middle of a paragraph, something suddenly changes and shows an ad. So my eyes reading the paragraph will no more see the paragraph because it will see an ad there. So that is very bad because those sort of websites are not user friendly, and also it causes a lot of distractions, right? You keep the entire user flow will be broken. So that is what is cumulative leadership. This is very common in apps like e-commerce, right? So because when you open the app, you open I'm taking an example of Flipkart. Assume that you open Flipkart and then you see the nav bar. You're going to focus on search, but suddenly you see a discount coupon or you see a banner says that something is on offer today. So that the entire search button is shifted down and then you click on the banner. So it will take you to the ad page. So that's very annoying, right? So that is what cumulative leadership is talking about. So right from the starting of the page, can you, yeah. If you see this video, okay, please. Yeah, you click on you're going to click on place my order or the other one. Suddenly there's a bar or something in the bottom or the top. It pops the content and it pushes the content below, and then basically it makes you click on something else. Right? So how many of you have faced this before? I used to always face this in a lot of places. This is very annoying, right? So in order to prevent this, you majorly should not do anything on the browser on the runtime. So either try to render the content or generate the content in the way that you will be displaying it. So for example, one cause also is the images. So for example, images of the random sizes. So you load and then suddenly because of JS injection or CSS injection, the image gets bigger. Right? So you need to predict the image's size, ensure that this is the image that I'm going to render, and render it in that size. And server-side rendering. How many of you know difference between a server-side rendered application and a client-side rendered application? Yeah. Right, exactly. So basically, a browser can render only HTML pages. Right? So how many of you know this? You can only render HTML and whatever any Flutter guys here. So whatever export you do on Flutter will be rendered as a canvas element. So it's still an HTML, right? So browser cannot do anything other than HTML. So, but there comes a question, right? Like how do we do, dynamic content, and how do we do content with JavaScript? Then? So ultimately, it is written on Java. It is shown as HTML. So the difference between server side and client side is that in server side, every content is generated by the server and then sent it as an HTML, like as you said. So when the browser receives the request, sorry, when the browser receives the response, it knows what to be rendered and will just exactly render that. But in the case of client-side rendering, server will not send the entire HTML. Server will send the data and the scripts to render the HTML. Right? So, for example, it will send a list of fields in JSON, and then it will send a parallel JavaScript code that will consume the data and then render the HTML. So the main difference is that in order to load the data, we need some time, and give it to the JavaScript, we need some time. So until that time, we need to show a loader, right? And you keep staring at the loader, and then suddenly an image comes in, or suddenly some other data comes in. This is also an impact of the cumulative right? Because most cases these ads and discounts are loaded by the browser, not by the server. So it just pops up. it is sometimes an unavoidable circumstances where you need to render it in the client because you don't know who is accessing the page and you don't know and it could be a heavy task as well to find which coupon to show for which user. But make sure that you don't push any content or you don't change the existing design that is rendered by the server. Right? And ads, random ads. This is very getting annoying recently because you keep getting ads, so much ads. So if you want to build a really good content website, if you're building a magazine website, make sure the ad is visible but not intrusive. So that your users are not coming to your website for reading ads. Right? So your users are coming to your website for reading your content, maybe see an ad. So make sure that ads are not popping in the random places, or either in the footer or in the header, so that they know that they can skip the ad. Right? And also preload fonts. So someone was talking about fonts. So this is a very, you might not see it as a major problem, but I would have rendered a font, but the font would take some 2 seconds to load. So what happens is that my native browser HTML will render its own tag or button tag in a specific height. But the font's weight and font's height would be different. So whenever the font is applied, there will be a jitter. That's basically the problem with the layout shift. So the jitter causes some sort of an irritation for our eyes as well. So we should not do that. So either preload the font or use system font changing font. So that is basically the three metrics for code results. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? How many of you want to implement it in your websites? So how do you do that? Any idea? Lighthouse, good. How many of you use Lighthouse? Only one? Cool. Two. Okay, what are the tools? So, yeah. So we have, I've been using three tools for this. One is obviously Lighthouse. So this is basically a Chrome extension, a Chrome dev tool. How many of you know Chrome dev tool? How many of you went to this hack mode, by right-clicking and inspecting element in college so that they think that, you're asking something? Yeah. So that is Chrome Web Tool. There's a tab called Lighthouse. They launched it in I think early 2016 or 2017. So as a part of Chrome's dev kit, and this has been a very good tool for analyzing the web page. Basically, you open a web page and you open Lighthouse and start analyze. It will try to render the page in different browsers, network regions, and then try to come up with a score. So make sure that your scores are 100, like how we score in college. But it's okay if it's more than 95. Right? So you still be valued by Google and other search engines if your score is good. And but there's one problem with this tool. Anyone who used this tool knows it. There's a problem with this tool. So consider you have 70, 80 pages in your application. So how do you calculate for all 70, 80 pages? You can't do that, right? So here this tool will only do for whichever page you're running this test from. Okay, so that's why you go to another tool, not this tool, but this tool is basically I use majorly for understanding how it is actually done by Google. So this is something called PageSpeed Insights. It's a tool by Google itself, and the test runs on the server. So the previous Lighthouse will run on your browser, whereas this test runs on Google's server, like how exactly it sees the page, right? So there could be a different score you get in this and different score you get in Lighthouse because your network is different, and then your browser could be different, and there's a lot of scenarios, right? But this is the standard that you can follow when you analyze a page, right? So the last one is basically my favorite tool called Unlighthouse, and basically it's a CLI kind of a thing where you run npx unlighthouse hyphen URL link, and you give the URL of your application. It will open the application, runs. It will try to crawl inside your application, find all the links, and then runs Lighthouse report for all the links that is there. So you can just run once and then find for all the pages that you have. Like for example, if you're building a blog and you can see which article is actually having bad performance or which page in your blog is having bad performance. So this is pretty cool tool. If you're looking into stabilizing your app, I would suggest to go with this tool because one run you get all the reports. You keep optimizing it multiple times and keep running it again and again to get a better result. So that is, I want to give a demo of Unlighthouse, but since we have some technical difficulties, we're not able to do. It's pretty easy. You just need to go to unlighthouse.dev. They have a curl command. They have a CLI command. Just run it. Make sure that you have Node, and then it just runs for your website. Right. So that's all I have for today. And maybe if you have any questions on, Web Vitals, Firebase, or General Web, feel free to shoot out and probably we can take it from there. Any questions? Questions are welcome more than the claps. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think we can circulate the mic and then we can. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. I cut short the presentation mainly for getting questions so that people's voice can be we could have a common question and then it could be clarified.
Hello. First of all, I'm not that developer, but previously we had a session introducing the concept of WebAssembly. And I never really thought about how web page loading or the time delay inputs, all of that actually affect during the development process. Uh, for a person who is actually a beginner in web development, why do we need to take in mind to take care of all of these concepts before developing the website? And I had this doubt as in like, how do we actually solve these problems? But you have explained it already. So how do we integrate the concept of WebAssembly and solve this problem in another way as well?
So I think the first question is that how do you quantify this within when you do the development, right? I don't think you need to do that because I follow this principle called make it work, make it good, and make it fast. Right? So you need first make it work so that once you make it work, you don't have to worry about the logic and you just need to worry about the optimization part. So when you develop, you just don't have to worry about things like whether this will be actually under the metric or not. Those things. You build it and then make it optimized. Second part is about using WebAssembly, right? So considering WebAssembly is a very powerful tool, you we have been. I'll give you a classic example. So there are apps that shows you graphs, right? So where you have like a x-axis and y-axis, you plot the data. So this graph will work beautifully when you have a data of 100 points, 200 points. What about data with million points? Right? So you need to parse, you need to do some transformation, and you need to do some sort of analysis, and some sort of finally come up with a canvas that can render it, right? And imagine 10 such graphs of 100 million points or something like that, right? So that's where you bring in WebAssembly, right? So because we talked about Figma, where it's completely running on WebAssembly, where you need to make sure that everyone is synced, all the data is syncing, and the UI is rendered, and all those things. So you cannot do such thing. I mean, I'll not say you cannot do. It's very hard achieving that sort of power with just pure JavaScript. You can kind of have some sort of a powerhouse. So that's where WebAssembly comes in. So when you want to scale to a larger data sort of thing, that's where WebAssembly comes in. In order correlating with this COVID as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I just speak with the mic. So, for my community last year for DevFest, which was one of our biggest annual events, we built a website which allowed us to have attendee registrations and then the basic thing that organizers all face with Delhi. So, when we were building the website on our devices, it all looked great. We had a beautiful UI, but we had the issue with the first content that was being painted on the screen. We had a white screen on like poor networks where CDN was like we tried deploying some CDNs, but the web page was very loading very low. And then at Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all these handles were flushing with messages stating that hey, I'm not able to register, hey, I'm not able to register. What happened to the registration screen? So what happened is we put a big photo of our prior events. We wanted to showcase our community and full energy. So my first point is, even though you want to go for some highly advanced CVN and some advanced tools, as you already know, Google communities do not have much funding, so that is one of the biggest challenges that we have. So how do you suggest, like I guess most of the people here would be startup engineers, or the people who are just trying out some projects. So how do we improve the performance of a website when it comes to this and then loading them uh, for lower price if you have to put it in proper.
Yeah. So one important thing is that you need to reduce the number of assets you use. Right? So for example, I've seen people I mean not to complain, but I've seen how many of you know Bootstrap CSS? A lot of people know, right? I've seen 2 3 versions of Bootstrap loading in a web page because they would have tried version 2 and then they were like, okay, it's not working for me. They tried version 3 and then version 4 and version 5. They just dumped it, forget to remove it, right? And then there'll be 4 fonts of multiple varieties loading. All this takes a lot of time to render. So try to reduce your assets. Try to show with minimal style, minimal content, and wherever you need images. And also try to avoid PNGs, right? If you for icons and stuff, try to avoid PNGs. Go with SVGs because SVG is just text. So you can just inject in HTML, or even if you import it as an image, it will be very lightweight, right? And if you don't have any other option, try to you have only PNG as the only goal. Try to go with the age-old technique of CSS prints, right? So you just load one image and then it will just distribute all the images. And try to reduce the number of JavaScript that you have. Like for example, people do this one mistake, and I know Twitter is already, Twitter community is already boasting about it. Where animations. So people dump animations in your website and then make it so slow, right? For example, they want to make the marquee in the top, and then they want to show, whenever we scroll, they want to inject elements and stuff like that. So the one problem is that when you actually as a user coming to visit a page and then waiting for some data to load is it annoying. I just want to see the data and then I want to know about it. What should I wait? So reduce the animation. That is also one more important thing. Try to have micro interactions rather than animation. So much animation, flashy animation. So those things will make it faster because you don't have unwanted bloated assets and your content is minimal. Just render it, simple as it. You don't need CDN. You don't need expensive CDNs. And one thing is that if you want to host a website, go with Cloudflare. How many of you know Cloudflare here? Cool. So Cloudflare has something called Pages where you deploy it. It is an automatic CDN and then search from Edge on wherever you're accessing. So probably use things like that. It's free as well. So you can go host as many as pages you want. So things like that. Any questions?
So I
Yeah.
have one doubt. I'm aspiring to use TensorFlow.js in my website. Let us consider a hypothetical scenario where my website is just going to take an image, do some OpenSea kind of stuff, just some filter kind of thing, and it's going to give the user back image as a downloadable thing. So is it better to use a separate server to have the images on there on hold temporarily, or should I just do it as a cache in the browser itself? Have the temporary image.
So it depends on what sort of images you support, right? Like for example, if you always support a smaller image, for example, a QR code or something like that, which is very small, you can do it with the browser. But if you support like 2 MB, 3 MB images, I think it's better to upload it to a separate server and then process it. Because the browser will crash.
Um, Adding on to that, let us say I'm running an ML application using TensorFlow.js on the website. So that's heavy JavaScript happening over there in the background. So is it better to just submit all the code to the client side, or just give only the interface to the client and perform all the I mean not transfer the machine learning related JavaScript to the client and just have it on the server myself.
That's right. As I said, it depends on what sort of image you're processing, right? I see the good thing and bad thing in the both approach. The first thing, if you do everything on client and when your application scales to an infinite number of users, you don't have to worry about your server cost because everything is run by the client itself, by the user browser itself. But the problem is you cannot scale vertically. Right? For example, you cannot support larger images because there's a threshold on the client and you will not know which browser the client is using. Cloud may be on age-old, Internet Explorer. Will not be able to support. That is one challenge. But in you go with million users, yeah, I can handle it. Because and you are in a very bad internet background, or you are in a very bad browser or very old browser, still I can support it. So that is the caveats and advantages that you get with both approaches. So you need to define on what sort of application and what sort of users you're going to target. You're going to target a hi-fi user with a fancy internet connection and fancy browsers, you can go with client. But you're going to support a normal user with a variety of internet connection possibilities, you go with the server.
So it would be a bad idea to make it into PW.
PWA is majorly
For
for
this
content.
application, it's going to be a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Again, it depends on your use case, right? If you're going to build a game sort of a thing and you want to work seamlessly without even an internet connection, you can make it as a PWA and then make it offline on all those things.
Thank you. Guys, if you have any other questions, we do have networking session after this session, so you can personally meet sir, interact with him, and get your doubts clarified. So we do have a networking session. So if you have any other queries with sir will be available. You can personally interact with sir during that networking session.
Thank you so much, and that's my Twitter handle or X handle. So just
May I invite Usha Ramani ma'am to felicitate sir with a token of appreciation. Guys, the closet should not stop for this session. Where is the
I will
close?
invite Ravi Garu and Srivas Garu. They have to have helped us with this donation actually. Sir, please for a moment.
Guys, the closet should not stop for such a session.
This location, this beautiful venue, Ahab has supported us and we are very grateful for that. So thank you, sir, for all the help and support that you have done. So please.
As we conclude this incredibly enlightening session on improving website efficiency with core web vitals, we want to extend our sincerest gratitude to our exceptional speaker, Mr. Varun Raj Manoharan. Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and your valuable insights with us today. I hope you have been enjoying the insightful discussions till now. How are the sessions going on till now? Can't hear yes or no, nothing. Josh, please. Okay. How's the Josh? The Josh is very low. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Cool. So now get ready to dive into the world of driving startup innovations. In this session, we'll explore the dynamic landscape of entrepreneurship where bold ideas and creative minds come together to disrupt industries and push the boundaries of what's possible. Please give a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, Ravi Ishwarapu sir, who's the CEO of AHUB, that's the Andhra University Incubation Council, to take us on a journey of driving startup innovations. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Great session, Varun. How many of you are techies here? Call yourself techies. Oh, these are the nerds. Okay. How many of you are call yourself something like entrepreneurs? Okay. And how many of you techies want to make tons of money? That's more than the first two. Yeah, we're all yeah. This is human nature. We want to make successful and become money. A lot of techies who made tons of money. How many of you are non-computer science? These guys are at an advantage. I'll tell you why. Simple examples are people who head most of the institutions, including Sundar Pichai or anybody, are non-computer science guys. Why do you think so? Which branch of engineering does Sundar Pichai belong to? Okay. Any other examples like that? Who's the other big guy? Who is from electrical engineering? Yeah, that's correct. So, what's happening to computer science engineering? you get stopped as an architect, and that's it. That's where you grow up to, and then you're done. Okay, I come from the world of I'm basically a mechanical engineer, so most of you wouldn't like me because I'm not trying to fight branch against you. My last corporate role was I was chief of quality for Tech Mahindra. Means any all the code that was being coded right across Tech Mahindra, I'm responsible anywhere, anything right from Japan to West Coast in the US, anything goes wrong. Okay, not a good. I have SWAT teams where suddenly some client somebody messed up. All the things that Varun and others tell, they don't take care of it. They are last minute. If it's a 3 months project, 2.5 months people enjoy. Last 15 days they code and they push it, and that's when I get into trouble. And then I have all escalation calls and running all over the world trying to fix things. So okay, now I've already built and sold my stake in two startups. I'm building five: IT, IoT, HR tech, fintech, and deep tech. So this is what I do because I left my tech end job, a seven-digit figure salary in 2012, and I'm now building. But now I'm still trying to build the startup ecosystem. Um, Basically, this is trying to convert your ideas, your innovation, your creativity into money. That's what I do. I help do that. Today, quickly, yes, yeah, we can go. Uh, I'm here with a mission that Andhra University should become India's largest integrated multidisciplinary university incubator in India by 2025. We are already there up there, but I'll tell you why. Um, I call myself stupidly emotionally attached to this place called Vizag. That's why I reverse migrated from the US and I left TechMinder also because being a center, what do you get, in a promising position, you'll have to be in the power center, which is Hyderabad or Pune. So I wanted to be in Vizag from this year, 2006, and I continue to be here, and my career would be here. So that is something that I know, and it's pretty much fixed. Wanted to do something for Vizag. That's not here. So next, so when I'm talking about multidisciplinary, the reason I was bringing these branches and all that stuff, um, the reason something that happens in your college is one faculty doesn't talk to the other one. Even within the branch, forget about between branches, forget between departments. They have faculty comes with a big egos. I was a faculty too once upon a time. Oh God, there's so much of agreement on this. Big fat egos. They think they have all marks in their hand, and that's what they can play around with. And they say stand, sit, kneel down, submit assignment, this, that, and all this stuff. That's what they try. So I don't know, sadistic pleasure that they get, but uh, the reason when I said multidisciplinary, if I'm building an ATM, it's not just a techie that I need. I need somebody called a business analyst. There's somebody who's called subject matter expertise. The guy today whose advantage is somebody who has the subject matter knowledge and can code. SandLogic, a startup which I work with and I'm probably part of, there's this guy called Kamlakar. Here's a question for you. He's got three startups. One SandLogic recently, Chips2 startup. He's building a co-processor with all AI enabled so that you don't go to the server, but processing happens locally, low cost, maybe it would cost around 750 rupees. He's able to manufacture a million chips. So he's got a 5 crore fund from CDAC and Mighty and he's developing the chip. Second startup is basically he's building drones. Third one is he's gone into microfluidics where usually these what do you call it? There's bulls and cows that are born. It's usually XY chromosome 50-50%. He wants to go into microfluidics using IoT and other stuff, and then ensure 98% of those calves that are born is female because the male calves are a liability. This is gender diversity. I'm talking about. You say men have an unfair advantage, but when it comes to the calves, 50% are usually the male calves. They're all killed because they are a liability. They only eat but can give you anything. So they keep 2% for reproduction and other are all killed. So now to make 98% whatever the things that are born as females, so he's going getting into fluidics, microfluidics. What is his background? He was in IT. He worked in big. He worked in Capgemini and Accenture. Worked in the US, all over the world, and come back and started. But do you know what his background is? What could be his degree? He's a BCom grad. So there's no limit for anybody. See, once upon a time, computer science engineering was confined to the classroom. Now it's all over the place. So you're competing with the whole world. So don't think that I am computer science guy and put my collar up and it's because it's something exclusive. You're no. You're everywhere, all over the place. So okay. So we're building multiple incubation centers. So because how do we become big? We are building about 2 lakh square feet of incubation space. Now relating it back to what I'm talking. If I'm a pharma incubator, I'm trying to do drug discovery. And I have a huge amount of data on which I have to do data analytics and AI. Where do I come? I come to the NASCOM Center of Excellence of Artificial Intelligence, which is diagonally opposite this. So then there is a marine, there's a different startup which is into underwater unmanned vehicles. So this technology, there's a lot of all different sorts of engineering coming into it, but they have to test their vehicles or robots in a seawater sort of environment. They go to the Avanti Marine Incubation Center where they pump in water from the sea and they have tanks which is filled with seawater and you start experimenting underwater, under seawater sort of. Otherwise, going into deep sea and trying to do it is a big costly affair. So this is what I'm talking about, interdisciplinary. So when you will be able to just add to what Varun was talking about, because he's talking about ads, 98% of revenue Google makes is from ads. And ensuring that those ads are raised. Without that, you just cannot say, why do you have to have ads? You just let it be plain content because it can be easily read, but that's business. That's what I'm here for. If not for the business, we are all not here. The techies are place to be if you don't have a business intent behind it. Go ahead. These are all the different centers. We started March last year. This is March we incorporated, April we started operations. This is about a year and a half. So you'll find a lot of things that are happening around the place. One more slide. So this is, we are into food, we are into Alku, Paderu, whatnot. We are everywhere, all over the place. Go forward, one more. So eventually, my Aspire 2025, I say AHA because it's A, Associate, Aspire and Achieve. That's the same. All that stuff has all been built by me. So we'll be about 2 lakh square feet, 200 active startups. Today, I just counted, the building next door is about 86. NASCOM has around 46. So we are already nearing the 130 mark. So by mid next year, I'll achieve my 200 startups. We're going to be 500 crores of turnover happening. 500 crores of business happening just from the campus. It's usually you have these sessions called campus to corporate, but I'm saying corporate in campus. I'm trying to bring in all those startups and start getting them to grow within the campus. So that's so about. I will go to the numbers there. That is what my targets are for the 2025 December, but I think I'll achieve them early. Yeah, go ahead, please. This is all the huge things, all the things that are being, and then seeing a little bit of success on this startup front. They've also said, okay, skill development, take it up. We're done doing tons of like on IoT, AI, ML, Sandlogic is doing a session. So on high performance computing, there are now parallel 3 sessions that are going 3 months, 6 months courses, which is free for people to come on board and then take it and go forward. So there's a lot of things that are happening, go forward. Okay, in fact, just go one slide backwards. I said partner managed at the other end towards your right side is government body industry. I've already got NASCOM into the complex, which is diagonally opposite. Opposite to this building on the other side of the road is this STPI, which is starts with the 25,000 square feet, which we are starting with next gen tech stuff, which is you're more interested in tech stuff. So that will go up to a 70,000 square feet of only next gen industry 4.0 tech incubation out here, just on the other side. And behind that will be NASCOM Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence IoT, where all the 46 startups are there. Go forward. Okay, these are numbers about 126 startups. I think we're already near 130. My first slide is says 26 July, so it's not dynamic, it's static stuff there. So I think probably I have to use the dynamic date stuff so that it automatically updates. About 68 crores of funding that is obtained for the different startups. Go forward. 579 people work in the campus. These are not students. These are people who come from outside into the thing. Even in the night, working with the US, I have about 112 people working with the US from night 7 to 8 to morning 4 or 5 in the campus. So campus is transforming fast and the same. 311 and now it's 341 student internships. Every now and then we do events. Now, in fact, there's something from 4 o'clock which I have to rush to, is a startup Saturday. So please, great volunteer. Okay, by the time if I, by, I mean, if I forget, no, I will not, because I'll come there later. So this is next go. These are all the different startups on the campus. This is a representative. You go one more slide. These are all, you will find tons of them that are there. Different text, deep tech stuff to regular, what do you say, food startups. Like your Madras Filter Coffee. How many of you know Madras Filter Coffee? It's being incubated here. Anybody heard of Rose Mama? What you are now, you will see that. Okay, she's basically an HDFC banker who came and said, okay, can you give me an account, converted into a Sridevi, she converted into an entrepreneur, now has 5 outlets, one near Geetham, near the Rishabanda Junction, along with Madras Filter Coffee, they have the Rolls Mama. She's 5 and the 22 franchises. So, uh, Hotel Ambika Sea Green, which is on the beach road next to YMCA, they are getting into something called ghettos again. So, I'm just saying not tech, but everything across. I think we have about 28 domains as of now, sector-wise, we're sector agnostic. So go forward. These are all the events that we do, Startup Saturdays, being there on that hackathon. One thing that how many of you are not from Vizag here? Means studying, not studying outside Vizag or from outside Vizag. Okay, 3, 4. The band, okay, about 10. 90% is from Vizag. The sad scenario is in that hackathon, most of the time it's actually either VTP, KU, or yeah, most of the time these are the two institutions who are take away at least top 3 or at least 3 to 4 of the top 5 the hackathon stuff. It happens once in every 2 months. Last one was renewable energy. The one before that was EVs. The one that is coming up, I think, in agri-tech. So it is once in every 2 months, at least 100 to 150 teams participate every time. So would love you to be part of it because there's more tech stuff there. We have right from ACR and the US consulate to everybody being involved in this whole thing. I'm also the president of TIE, not me, I don't know, many of you would not know TIE. It's the world's largest entrepreneurial community, like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all these Satya Nadella, all these are part of it. About 3,000 of us, select group, and this is by invite only. So that's already also being run from here. So there's a lot of stuff that is happening. Ideas stuff. We also do we also do these. And I'm taking a little bit more time than what is required, so I'll just finish in 2 minutes. We do our idea cons, which is basically people coming with ideas. But we do it in a little bit of fun way because I know you guys love to mix fun with work. So we do a karaoke evening every second Thursday. If you come down, there's fun. The people playing guitars, keyboards, singing. One song, one dance in between is a idea pitching. So we do that stuff too. So it is fun. We're also building pool table, AR/VR gaming zones and other stuff. So next, this is July to December. The biggest thing that's coming up, which now we are planning to do the Google Developer Fest and the TideCon maybe in October, not yet finalized, but the dates I don't want to steal the thunder of Usha and all this stuff. So I don't go there. But there are a lot of things. But what you see at the bottom most, techie guys, that's two things. We're trying to do decathlon for drones. There's a event next door, and we are going to give 10 different challenges. Drone people who make drones, they will be going through that, and then we will identify and train. Okay, this again, it's a this thing. Then we want to do EV, including drone racing and other stuff, something which is interesting. So those are coming up in October and December. So things we can get associated with. Go forward. There are people who've been to AHUB in the last 6 months or so. So the big names are here. Next. Okay, you can go forward. Okay, we are probably the only university incubator in India which is in one year. So two things that are in here because of the business side, and I wanted to put Vizag on the map. Uh, we are ranked now among 6,748, maybe 50 now, academic incubators in India. We are ranked 15 in just 1 year of operation. Thank you, but I don't want it to be confined only to the Andhra. I wanted to open up, and now I have people who intern here come and work with us. have their startups and come work here. Gayatri, Avanti, Raghu Engineering. Um, well, there are a lot of people who come and work here. And I have no, when it comes to business, there's no affiliation towards a specific institution. Or, like, for example, my own IoT company, I found as part of hackathons because people say, do you really recruit as part of hackathons? Yes, we do. I have my IoT company. I set up my center of excellence in Vizag because I found their students to be extremely good. And I don't give them a stipend. What I do is I give them a project. They're able to crack it 1.5 months, 45 days, 2 months, three people. If they crack it, give me the solution, 10 lakhs. Because client pays me. Something like that. So this is not, so there is some lot of exciting stuff. More than happy to, you can come and associate. This is not, this is meant for largely North Coast Andhra. We are actually mentoring about institutions just like in North Coast Andhra, including the Central Tribal University, NIT, Tadepalli, all these people are now under us. I'm also helping IIM Vizag and other things. In fact, the last summer placement, I had people, I'm extremely proud of this. Forget about all those things. 67 people from IIMs applied, premier IIMs, IIM Vizag and above. I could only pick 13, reject the others. IIT Hyderabad, IIT Tirupati, people applied and I could give only for two people. So that's what I had. So I'm able to create a small place like Vizag and not so great known university like Andhra University, a lot of flutter to get people and come in, reverse migrate towards to a smaller known university and all this stuff. That's what is the idea. So you can be a part of this. More than happy, ready to take questions. Yeah. Any questions? More than happy. Okay, if you want, okay, just put that slide. Okay, I think they've modified it. If you want to be part of it, just I know it's difficult, but anybody here from that's going to be, I think the volunteers have all gone. Oh, you're here. So this is Varma. He's a first year CSC guy here. He spends 70% of his job. Later, I have to give certificates to get his attendance and all this stuff. Hostel plus college time is about 30%, 70%. Till every day, at least till 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening, he's there with me. Thanks, Verma. I want to acknowledge you right in front of people like you. Vinay is another guy who's taking care of the other events. I'll tell you one thing, the power of people like you, the ranks and everything that I've achieved last year until May. That's from June I had a team. Till end of May this year, I ran the whole incubation center with only students like Varma, Vinay, and many others. There was no employee at all. It was completely built by students. That's the power of what you guys can do. And I know that's what Vishal is using. Thanks, Vishal, and all the guys in black. So you're doing a fabulous job. Great stuff. Let's put Vizag on the globe. Yeah, the technology map of the globe. Any questions or if anyone wants to comment? It's a building, we'll be all there in the building next door. After college hours is best because 6 to 8, 9:30 is when we're a little bit more free. Mornings are a little bit more crazy. So,
Then I want to ask a question on behalf of perhaps a lot of them.
Hmm?
So, how do you think students can be students, especially like who are aspiring to be associated perhaps with startups or something, or perhaps how do they build that innovation mindset, or I can start a startup kind of thing, because you need a lot of confidence for that one. Secondly, how do you think you can support, or you in the sense Ahab or this space you were saying, there is so much of progress happening and all that. So how can actually Ahab help students with some ideas or something, how to take it forward, how to monetize it, how to make it a company per se? Like, will incubators be provided to students, or ideas तो है बहुत और हम काम भी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन we don't know where to start, or we will be given some space. So how does this work actually? Especially I'm asking in the background of students.
Yeah, I know.
So what
I know.
can be done?
Varun and you both are entrepreneurs. I know that. So thank you as an entrepreneur asking me that. So you pretty much will see ideas are dime a dozen.
Right.
What matters is action.
Right.
It's just not. So there are two times when you come to us, we validate. It's just not your idea, whether there's a market validation, whether you can do it, and all that stuff. I'm pretty much sure you will both will agree to that. We do something called internal validation. Can you say, are you ready for the game? This is like a stand-up game, whether you feel your yeah, line of duty or whatever it is. It's like that. Every movement, a little small wrong move, you're there. And there are a lot of downs, a little bit of ups. You get motivated by a little bit of small blip upside, and then we immediately are down this thing. Then you shouldn't get discouraged. Usually, startups are successful. It takes about 7 to 10 years. Can you stay invested? Can you invest 7 to 10 years of your life to become successful and make it big? Is a big question. That is what we will see as you or as a team. A startup doesn't mean four computer science guys coming together without any subject matter knowledge or knowledge of market. It doesn't mean it's not good, but we will say add the flavor of management, add the flavor of something else and else which is not there. So we see if you're a complete package or not. But we help one is mentor. See, any startup three M's. I call it three M's, which is critical for a survival of an incubator or a startup. Mentoring, money, market access. This is what we provide. So we first will tell you whether it's right or wrong. We advise. We don't take decisions. You still want to go ahead. Google had 17 rejects before it went ahead. But also remember, we don't judge. Narayan Murthy asked me this question. What is this criteria of selection for your startup should be and come? I don't care. You just come in. I don't select you. I don't judge. I'm nobody. Google could not be judged. And I told him one thing, sir, if you come today, go to some incubator and with the same model that you came in, you're just a service-based company. You're a 2X guy. He said, call me 2X guy? Yes, you're not a product company. So nobody has any distinct, what do you call it, sort of respect for you. Narayan Murthy is respect. If you go Infosys as a startup now, you are not respected. Two, but you started somewhere. You always have changed. How did Pinnacle come? When you started, you and Sudhamati did not have Pinnacle in your mind. Products come later. You made money, made some cash, and then went into products. So startups pivot. They change their ideas. The idea with which they come change. So that's why it's very important to know the internal validation, which is the person do it. They have that fire in the belly to last that long. The nitrogen inside can it push you to for 7 years or 8 years, or will you get discouraged after the year two and then fizzle out? So that's more important because ideas you can keep changing, pivoting, and then come and this thing. So that's what all we do. We support space, mentoring, infrastructure. You'll get it anywhere. Even you can sit in a college and do it today. Work from home, then you can do it. So mentoring, money, which is a lot of grants. Like for example, any one of you have a great ideas relating to IoT. You're coming up for ignition grant from Monday. Apply. We give you 2 to 10 lakhs. We give you an IoT lab here or NASCOM or anywhere, or you do it at your place, but you'll be here. And from that idea to the thing, we'll give you. It's largely for students, faculty, research scholars, and early stage entrepreneurs. 2 to 10 lakhs. I have 1.5 crore to give it. Apply. There's money. Then of course market access. Once you do it, so you have a solution, and then like for example, we do something like with seed plant now we are doing. They give their all their problems. Then we are doing it naval dockyard. So they had five last set was 5 sets of problems. We put it in front of startups. Multiple startups gave solutions. Again presentation along with the budget with the solution. Identified 5 startups got 85 lakhs, including the one that I run, which is Android. You got 25 lakhs for solving one of the problems. So that's market access. You do it for one seed plant and then duplicate it across. You already have a client, a successful implementation, and you don't have to pay money for the prototype because you pay that money for you and then take it forward. So this is what we provide at an incubation center. Any incubation center should be doing this. I hope I answered you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think more of your techies is not interested. Maybe after some time, then you'll say more money. Then you'll say when the time when you don't deliver or you have too many bugs that you have delivered and your boss shouts at you, then you start thinking, what the hell and who am I working for? Let me work for myself. That took me to become 39 before I became stepped into my own entrepreneurship. Let's say. Thankfully made money. All my 5 startups are cash positive, but more than happy to help out students because I'm on the setting sun side. You're all the rising ones. So anything to help you guys, always there. Okay. Two questions. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
So I am from the MR Institute of Technology in Vizag.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wanted to know one more thing that you are providing internships for students.
Yeah.
So as
For
a
startups.
yes. So if the people are from other colleges like us, we take us, we are in other place. We are not staying in Vizag, so we are staying at Radha. And do you take those people for providing mentorship?
No, if they have a startup idea and they come to a certain stage and they need to go. GMR, by the way, he's a president of our alumni, and he was here too. He sent all his senior management team saying that because I built this from zero budget, I did not have any money. I still today also, except for the recent fund that I got, everything was built from. So he said, this guy is creating wealth from waste, sort of a thing. Because that building next door, you say, was a quarantine center for COVID. So from that, converted it and built it into a startup system, which is thriving now. So like that, Narayan Murthy, after the day here, he went to GMR. He was
Yes,
there
sir.
at Raja.
Yes,
So, okay. So I don't care what's the thing. See, basically, who's giving internship is not me. It's the startups that are there.
Yeah.
So if the student has got the anything, the required skills or whatever, if he's got that fire in him, to match to the requirement of startup. Some startups are very stringent. They might do 3, 4 rounds of technical interviews, which are good, pay and they take it. Some might need basic minimum skills, but without a little bit of skills, that's not a training center. Most of the interns should understand internship. People who are looking for internship. It's not a training center. It's something that you come with a little bit of skills. We don't care. We have 8th and 9th grade kids who are working here as interns because they're super on clutter. So they start. So yes to the answer. We don't care who it is.
My question is that whether the people can do work on projects from the place rather.
It's between them and the startup. Because when I, as my startup, have a center of excellence and I've given it work to Vijayawada, Guntur, with AP, Vijayawada, why cannot be Raja? In fact, the IoT company, again, I'm talking of the manufacturing listing that I've taken over and it was resourced. There is a guy in Raja who actually manufactures walls, the FRB, and PCB manufacturing is in Raja. So, no restrictions. If you have the talent, you have the skill set, please come in. More than happy. The second part is the startups. If you are able to create some startups as part of your IIC or whatever it is, and they're stuck at some place, wants mentors, we can help you.
Right, last question. Uh, Students usually they prepare for campus interview. Okay, they spend 6 months or maybe 3 months. They spend a lot about campus interview. Whether they are really focused on the job or because they are not know, they don't know where they are experts, they are talented, and they are only looking for the just the TCS, Wipro, whatever the corporate. So about the pattern. So how you differentiate? So what the select, what the first time spend on?
If somebody is starting in the final year, that's the stupidest way, and in the current scenario, you lose. No doubt about it. I tell you, please don't, if you're seeing your seniors who have just passed out and say, I joined PCS Pro, especially the 3.5 lakhs and other stuff, these are not people that have been picked up based on talent. It is because the industry needs certain numbers. Since I'll tell you my first example, GDP 2006 December, sorry, 2007 Jan. I went to recruitment. 963 people applied. We shortlisted, gave me a certain criteria. I just came back from work. I went by the criteria. 6 people got selected. Evening, I get a call from Hariti, who's now CEO Health, Care Health. Health, yeah, which is again Ramlin Brothers company. So, oh, I should be saying this. Okay, so he called up and said, what the hell, Ravi, what did you do? We need numbers, man, what is this thing? You know, we went down to 25% and we picked, that day, you can go check GDP records. 109 people were picked from 6 people. That means 103 people are worthless guys who have to come in because we need numbers. That's one. I'll tell you that. So it's not that people getting selected is because they have talent. Because finally, talk a little bit of English, you talk of new technologies. Because I know what happens. C language in this, especially in this campus, is by hearted. You have 7 to 14 programs, depending upon the college. You by heart and come and do it in this thing. That's your programming skill. You say core Java, this thing, and basics of Python, which is all core curriculum. After that, there's nothing else they know. There's nothing else. I don't know. Okay, asking for yourself or your state for your. Oh God. No, no. I'm happy that people are coming for tech events. Most of them don't. This is, I think, this is a brighter. And no, no. But I'm telling you, this is the state of affairs. And the most of the as people think that they're stupid, they come in and say IEEE project. I mean, crazy, some guy couldn't solve it in 10 years, 15 years. You said you solved it some code into some thing. Then I say, when Tech Mahindra, when I was speaking of people, they say, boss, you solved an IEEE problem, then you are not fit for Tech Mahindra, please apply for Intel or Google. Please get out. Because I know you, I will tell you, if you tell me bought it from Vizag, it was 4,500. If you bought it from Hyderabad, 3,500. I can tell you where, which is the rate also. And if he tells me the college would have sold it for 10,000 also. I can tell you that also. So all this is known stuff. Nobody cannot fool things around. And I'm sorry, it takes too much time. But this is a reality fact. Two is if you don't start early, you lose out, especially computer science. Everybody today has access to what knowledge that you have. Whatever Varun was talking of and all these things, this is recorded, that's getting onto online and everybody can see this and do it. Whether if a BCom guy like Kamalakar can become, now he's worth about 100 crores or plus, and it's all tech stuff, that's your competition. Your competition, you can never become a mechanical or electrical or this thing. Well, the subject matter expertise is not there, but they can pick up what you have and become stuff. So if somebody goes to IIT and say, if this guy has come from, so he's used to hard work and he's got great mathematical and analytical skills, so I can pick up from IIT metallurgy guy or an IIT, some IIT, something like even chemical civil guy, rather than coming to a, say, the normal college and pick up a computer science guy. It is not this is the trends that will happen. See, because three things that I will ask if you come for an interview. I'll start with this. Your GitHub account, I want to see the code that you've done. Two, I want to see your ranks on your competitive coding platforms, CodeChaps and HackerAlerts and other stuff. Okay? Hackathons, GitHub. Sorry, the third is, have you won certain hackathons, not participated? I don't want participation certificates. It is not even, I don't even care that because if they are not laminated, I cannot even use it as a, to clean my car. If it's laminated, at least I can use it for that. If not, if it's just this thing, it's not used. Just participation certificates will not take. Another big thing that we don't care is, I went and did a paper presentation in some conference and seminar and all that stuff. Boss, grow up. All these are all, I know, fake, but still my senior got selected because we need certain numbers. But these numbers will dwindle because of AI. And you know very much what AI can do, is going to do. The number of jobs required will start coming out. One last example, when I was picking up students at that lower category, right, 3.5, 4 lakhs, which TCS, Tech Mahindra, Wipros and all give you, 2006 it is still 3.5 lakhs, 2023 still 3.5 lakhs. Means you're doing linear jobs picking up at that system. If you're going and you're targeting a 3.5 lakh job today and you're very happy with it, that is the lowest job in that of the IT industry. So don't, if you're happy with that, God save you. So because that's just go back 15 years and ask anybody who's in IT industry, will tell you the salary was the same when we picked up freshers in the market. If that salary remained the same, the quality of people that you're picking up for that is pretty low. So if you're picked up at that, don't be proud of yourself. Okay, all the best, guys. I don't want to spoil you. I know you have something we can talk offline. Thanks. I have to go and again speak at some other this thing and blabber the same stuff. Maybe there. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Great stuff. Wonderful things. These are required more and more in Vizag. Please, Usha madam, let me know more stuff that I'm ready to sponsor more of these stuff and let more of these tech events happen. Thank you.
Guys, a huge round of applause for such an insightful session. This demands a huge round of applause.
Thank you. So, you see, actually, what he presented was, the base. other side. And as he rightly said, if you are still thinking of that 3.5, 4 lakh job and you are happy with it, grow up. That's what he was saying. So yeah, we have to look seriously into our choices. But thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you for all the help and support you have given.
Thank you so much, sir.
Guys, one of you please come on stage. My volunteers, please. Let's have a quick picture. Yeah.
Can you answer those questions?
Fast. On a count of three. 1, 2, 3. 9, 10. I think for that. 3, 4, 5. Volunteers, please. Volunteers, please come inside. Volunteers, come on stage. Quick. Is everybody here? Yeah, Manoj, please. Sorry. Please come. Yeah, sure. Picture है मेरा. Next week come on, guys. Guys, ready? Thank you so much.
Guys, can I have your attention, guys? So first of all, before moving ahead, how was this session? Especially the last session. Josh, I mean this session deserves a Josh, right? Fine. So I guess we were enough of some tech sessions. We'll continue it later. But now we have